Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The Venerable Ishijuka. Homage to the four guardian mothers, the 8 directional Dakinis, and the 20 heavenly goddesses. Homage to the 5 great Buddha mothers of Guru Padmasambhava, Ishijuka, Mandarawa, Sakya Devi, Kalashiti, and Tashi children. Simo, Tanzan Katso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do? I still. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoin. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Chumi. Yappy. Bling bling. Konbanwa. Not konbanwa, it's konnichiwa. It's good afternoon, not good evening. Konnichiwa. Now, we'd like to let everybody know about next Sunday, August 16, Sunday at 3 p.m. There will be Green Tara Homa fire offering ceremony. And Green Tara is the Tara Bodhisattva. And typically, Green Tara and the 21 Taras would come together. Green Tara and 21 Taras. So that includes the Tara who dispels epidemics, will all descend to the Homa mandala, the Homa altar. And once in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, at the Ta I Lechang temple, I have transmitted the Dharma of Green Tara. And we have performed several deities of the 21 Taras, and of them, the Tara who dispels epidemics, the Homa, have been performed many times. I hope everybody will register themselves as primary supplicants, because Green Tara is a very extraordinary and special bodhisattva. I have said it before, according to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, that he practiced Tara in the daytime and the protector at night. That's his daily homework. In the daytime, he practiced Tara, Dharma practice, and at night he practiced protector, which was Mahakala. Mahakala. So His Holiness the 16th Karmapa once said that it is very easy to gain spiritual response with Tara. And today we perform the Homa of Ishijuka. And we all know the origin or the history of Ishijuka. In her past life, she was the ever-weeping Bodhisattva. At the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, she was the ever-weeping Bodhisattva. And she was also once a white Tara. And she was also the goddess of the Ganges River. And she was also Saraswati, the goddess with marvelous sound. So her reincarnations were innumerable. And then later on, Ishijuka reincarnated as Magic Lamdre. So therefore, her background was very tremendous. And the mudra, one is in the first, which is holding a Vajra scepter, and the other hand is holding a Kapala. That's her mudra. And her mantra three. There are three mantras of Ishijuka, and you can use any one of them. In the beginning, Guru Padmasambhava transmitted to her the 9 stages of the Great Perfection Dharma. That's the Shravaka-hood, Bodhisattva-hood, Pratyeka Buddha-hood. And then, for Tantric Buddhism, the Kriya Yoga, Charya Yoga, and Yoga Tantra. And lastly, Mahayoga, Anu Yoga, and Ati Yoga. And eventually Ishijuka had the attainment of the rainbow light accomplishment, attainment of the rainbow light. So we could say that she is it's one of the patriarch of the Nyingma Pa who's spreading Buddha Dharma. So she was the first and foremost consort of Buddha Mother of Guru Padmasambhava who had the attainment of rainbow body transformation. She was extremely great, tremendous. Many pith instructions through her spiritual cultivation. Guru Padmasambhava taught her about related to food, living, transportation, clothing, and the body, speech, and mind. Many pith instructions or key formulas in spiritual cultivation that was transmitted by Guru Padmasambhava to her. And before the Dharma teaching, I would like to tell a joke. In the psychiatric ward, there were two patients who were deeply involved in discussing a book. The patient A said, "This book was really written really well." And patient B said, "It's really well written. It is a great novel, classic, no nonsense, very powerful. But there's one problem, is that too many characters in it." And at this time, the nurse came by and said, "Hey, the two of you, return the phone book back to its place." So they were actually reading the phone book. Of course, there are no superfluous words. They're all just characters or people. Now we will do the question and answer. This question came from mainland China. Normally, in my practice, the way I enter samadhi is in the sky, the deities radiating light upon me. I myself becomes Grand Master. And the Hom syllable on top of the lotus in my heart chakra radiates light toward the deities. Light reflects upon light, and I meditate amidst the light. So this person's practice is very special, very unique. All the deities radiating light upon her, and she became Grand Master. And then the Hom syllable on the lotus in my heart chakra radiates light towards the deities, and light reflects upon light, and then she meditates amidst the light. One night, she had a dream. In the dream, Grandmaster in the sky shining light upon me. I was also chanting the root Guru mantra in the dream. The lotus in my heart chakra opened, and the home syllable on the moon disk on top of the lotus radiates light toward Grandmaster. Light reflects upon light, and in the flash, I became Grandmaster. And then I woke up. She had a dream. First, my question is, should I change the way I enter so that it exits from the central channel to the sky? And two, at the moment of death, must one soul leave from the central channel? The question, should I change the way I enter so that it exits from the central channel to the sky? So, I'm telling you now, for the first question, if you leave from the central channel into the sky, but which part of the sky? Actually, the method is okay. Your spiritual cultivation is okay. If you leave from the central channel into the sky, it should be you're leaving from the central channel and enter into the heart of your Yidam or of Grandmaster Lu, the heart of Grandmaster Lu. That'll be fine. And at the moment of death, one soul has to leave from the central channel, of course. Because in Tantayana, the most important channel is the central channel. Your life chi typically is not moving. The life chi inside the heart chakra is not moving. But when the life chi moves, then the life chi from the heart chakra through the central channel and then leaves from the apex into the heart of the deities. And you never return again. That's death, or reborn in the Pure Land. If you enter into the heart of Grandmaster and then return to your own heart, that's not the life chi, but that's the illusory body that you visualize. So, in principle, that when you die, you have to leave from the central channel, and you cannot leave from any other places. Because the central channels connects with the apex. If you leave from the eyes, you would be born in water. If you leave from the ears, you would become animals. If you leave from the mouth, from the nostrils, those are all not right. If you leave from the navel chakra, that's even If you leave from the base chakra or the secret chakra, that's even worse. So the only way to be reborn into the Pure Land, to go to the Buddha land, to be in union with your Yidam, is to leave from the central channel through the apex, the tip of the head, to be reborn into the Pure Land. Then that would be correct. Only this is correct. So you don't necessarily have to change your practice. Next question from Malaysia. Amy, the question, Grandmaster, for the 100,000 times of performing the great homage of the 4 preliminary practices, can I just do push-ups like Grandmaster every morning for 200 times to complete it? Thank you, Grandmaster. Push-ups? I normally do 30 times push-ups, and then I collect them to be 200 times. That's push-ups and not great prostration or great homage. Push-ups are push-ups, not prostrations. And we all know about the great homage or great prostrations Dharma practice is you perform the great prostration with all 5 points. So 1 count with 1 down and up. So the 5 points all flat on the ground, and then you stand up. That's 1 time. And you bow, and then all the way down, flat on the ground, and then standing up again. That's twice. And you have to do it for 100,000 times. So you cannot use push-ups for it, because push-ups are push-ups. And great prostration is great prostration. Great prostration is like this. You bow, and then you go down flat on the ground, and then you stand up again. That's counted as 1. 1 more time. Bow and down, flat on the ground, and up and stand up again. That's great prostration. But push-up is you come down, and then with 2 arms, and then you push up 30 times. So push-ups are not great prostration. Don't think that 30 push-ups considered as 30 great prostrations. So you should follow the proper way to perform the great prostration for 100,000 times according to the rule. And you also have to visualize. And you push and straighten up your arms, and you visualize in front of you all the deities, or one deity, or your yidam, or thousands of them. Either one is fine. So you cannot skip and do shortcuts. That's the answer. The third question from Taiwan. Du Ai Ching. Dear Master, I have a very close friend, and he has insomnia, hypertension, heart problems, diabetes, and his karma is grave. But he has no intention to perform the Dharma practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes. Since we are not blood related, if I do it for him, will I have to burden his karma? Her close friend has problems with his sleep and also hypertension, heart problems, diabetes, and grave karma. And this close friend has no intention to perform the Dharma practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes. If I do it for him, will I have to burden his karma? Let me consult. The question by Lianhua Aiqun. According to the guidance, by helping him, you don't have to burden his karma. That's due to your compassion. You will not have to burden his karma. That's the answer to the question by Lianhua Aiqun. Actually, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease are very difficult to cure. Up till now, you can only lessen the diabetes, but up till now there is no true drugs that can completely cure diabetes. It can only lower the blood sugar. It's a chronic illness, cannot be completely eradicated. And hypertension. At 1, you're born with merriment. At 10, you are into your study. At your 20s, you're at the top of your youth. At your 30s, you're into your career. At 40s, you start to gain weight. At 50s, you're at the prime of your life. At 60s, you start to have hypertension. So hypertension is the illness of the older people, but nowadays even young people have hypertension. It's also a chronic problem. And heart disease too. If you eat sweet too much, it would affect heart problems too. Problems with sleep. 1 out of 3 elderlies have problems with their sleep. These are all chronic diseases. And you use the Dharma practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes to cure these chronic problems. You use this Dharma practice of rice and clothes to eliminate negative energy. or problems by the ghost. But for chronic illnesses, if you can resolve the chronic illnesses by performing this practice of rice and clothes, then we would put on the fireworks for you. But eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes is like when you encounter negative spirits or energy, like if you got or encountered ghosts and gods and negative energy, then you use it to eliminate it. But for chronic illnesses, if you can really do it, we will congratulate you. But doing this, you will not burden his karma. From Malaysia, Lien Tan. Grandmaster taught us that in the morning, reciting Namo Hai King Avalokitesvara Sutra 6 times, our whole body is purified. How do the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas shine light to bless us? In your book 264, Dreams Amidst Dreams, you wrote that it is the brow point of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas which radiates light. So, how do I visualize the brow points of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light upon the 6 ports? Do I need empowerment for it? Grandmaster said that in the morning, reciting Namo Hai King Avalokitesvara Sutra 6 times, our whole body is purified. How do the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas shine light to bless us? Well, you go ask the High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. How do the Bodhisattvas shine light to bless you? So the High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva should answer. So should we visualize the brow points of the deities radiating light upon the 6 parts? Do I need empowerment? Let me consult. So the High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, is it your brow point that shine light to bless those chanting the name of the sutra? The High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said, not just the brow point. The High King Guan Yin can radiate light through all his body. And the 6 parts of the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can radiate light upon you. So, the 6 parts on your body have the lights of High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva shining upon them. Do we need empowerment? Yes. This Dharma practice needs empowerment. Chanting Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing 6 times. Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing. Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing. Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing. Then 6 遍. Repeat 6 times. And any parts of the High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can shine light upon you. From Taiwan, Lian Hua Junhui. I have received the empowerment of Ishijuka, and I have read the sadhana of Ishijuka, and I have some questions. In the visualization of oneness, that at the mundus there are two red triangles. Is that the Dharma generator palace of the Vajravarahi? E.S. Yes. The two red triangles are the Dharma generator palace of Vajravarahi. Second, the transformation that Ishijuka was seated at the lotus in the heart chakra, and Hom or She appears from where, and how it radiates light to purify our body, speech, and mind. Sometimes the Ishijuka is already seated on top of the lotus of our heart, and the Hom syllable or She syllable represent the hearts of Ishijuka, the heart chakra of Ishijuka. So Hom syllable and She syllable appear from the heart chakra of Ishijuka, and that's the same as your heart chakra. Simply said, Ishijuka entered into your central channel and then be seated on top of the lotus of your heart chakra. Is she always that tiny? No. She should gradually enlarge to become exactly like your body. Then at that moment, the practitioner has transformed to become Ishijuka. And Ishijuka is the practitioner, and the practitioner is Ishijuka. So at this time, the heart chakra of Ishijuka is the same as the heart chakra of the practitioner. So that's the heart chakra of Ishijuka. So naturally, there would be the Hom syllable radiating light, or her sit syllable She radiating light. Where does it appear from? From the heart chakras of the practitioner and Ishijuka. And they can radiate light to purify the body, speech, and mind of the practitioner. All the same, they radiate light in the heart chakra, and that already purified the practitioner's body, speech, and mind. So this is the combination visualization. The third question, why is it being crossed? The mantra chanted in the ceremony, but in the sadhana, there are three other mantras. That's the mantra I chant, Om Pecha Ishijuka Padma Siddhi Hom, which means of the universe, the wise Ishijuka Yidam, and her lotus pure land is perfect. Om Pecha Ishijuka Petma Siddhi Hom. And the translation is Om, the wise Ishijuka Yidam, and her lotus pure land are perfect. So I chanted that earlier. Om Pecha Ishijuka Petma Siddhi Hom. And the mantras written in the sadhana, the meaning of the first one, Om, the wise Ishijuka, lotus pure land, accomplished, perfect. So it's the same. If we add CD, means attainment. And Om Pecha Ishijuka Padma Hom Hom Pe. So the lotus, and to eradicate all hindrances. So the Hom Hom Pe is by the purity of the lotus we eradicate all kinds of obstructions and hindrances. And Pecha Ishijuka Padma Se Joka is Om, the wise Ishijuka, and the lotus pure land, and the Sit syllable, which is the same as Amitabha's pure land. Soha is perfect. They are all the same. All these four mantras are the same. No difference. The monkey asked the masseur, how much is it to massage the whole body? And the masseur said, $20. And the monkey asked again, how about just for the neck? How much is it? And the masseur replied, free.
按摩一般来讲，按摩全身啊20块钱，按摩脖子是附加的嘛，就不用钱。
So
按摩师讲不用钱。
No need for
小
money.
猴子，这个猴子呢，高兴的对门外喊：“长颈鹿，你赶快进来！”
So the monkey was really happy and said, "Oh giraffe, please come in. I'm paying. There would be, you'll get a neck massage." And the masseur said, "Oh shit." Because the giraffe is very tall and all neck. This is a joke. This is a joke about language. Yeah, this is play of word in Chinese.
这个人问：“你们有电源吗？”那个你电源就回答：“先生，我就是电源。”
Because Chanyan is power outlet, but it also sounds like a salesperson. It's only meaningful in Chinese.
我要可以插的电源，我要可以插的电源。他告诉警察，他这个店员叫他警察，警察先生，事情经过就是这个样子。警察讲说好了，不要再说了，对方现在要告你性骚扰，有可以插的电源吗？
So it is sexual harassment. He's asking for power outlet, and it's misunderstood as a salesperson.
对不对？没想到那个店员说我就是店员，他那个人又问我是要能够插的电源，结果他打电
That
话
I just want an outlet that can be plugged.
到他信上，
But she instead called the police and charged him with sexual harassment. So sometimes it's a misunderstanding.
我在讲这个道果。
Now let me continue to talk on Lamdre about the
分两种，
skillful means. The third one, the bliss practices. The first one is bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. This is the instruction on the meaning of the branch, as stated in the verse. Quote, all kinds of bindings, etc., referring to all kinds of palaces in the navel area. Quote, etc. is the sum of the three palaces. The palace relied upon by the mind, the palace of the function of the throat, and the indestructible palace of the apex of the head. The verse, quote, the 10 fundamental qi, etc., end quote. So it is divided into 10. The verse, quote, the 7 parts of absorption, end quote, meaning each of the qi has 7 parts as described above, such as name, etc., for a total of 70 of them. The verse, quote, the sequence of the branchial qi stops internally, end quote. It means by upholding the power of the 5 basic qi as the foundation, the moving 5 branchial qi also gradually stop internally. It suggests that the wind or qi circulation gives to the rising of the kundalini fire to open the channels and the amrita accumulates. The understanding of these 3 principles is a step toward generating meditation. The verse, quote, bursting forth lots of light drops, end quote, meaning that all channels, the ambrosia or element is all transformed into light drops, like churning the milk into butter. The blossoming turns into profusion. If only 1 light drop bursts forth, then it is by the blessing of 1 Dakini. If 2, then understand it as so. The verse, quote, the clutching relied upon, end quote, refers to the light drops naturally dwelling at the 4 precious channel palaces, and as one's cultivation power increases, it descends to all the fine channels. The above 2 practices are the continuum to bless oneself by use of the Samaya Dakini and Wisdom Dakini. And it is the cause to rise to meditation.
你们看到这个修乐这一段文字，谁能够解？
Anyone can explain this excerpt about bliss practice? The Dharma masters and
请问谁能够解释这一段？
the Dharma teachers. Now inside the hall only masters and Dharma teachers here. The wordings, how do you say? It's very convoluted. The wording's extremely unreadable. So you don't understand reading it. You don't know what it means. It's really very befuddling. That's why the Mongolian living Buddhas are called as Utu Ketu. Utu Ketu is Mongolian living Buddhas. And in Chinese sounds like Huli Hutu, which is like totally befuddled. Lamdre, some wordings in Lamdre Psalms can be understood, but some completely cannot be understood. So the verse so it is from the Vajragata, which is the Vajra verse of Lamdre. This has to be explained. Again, practicing the bliss, there are 4 kinds. One is bliss, superior bliss, supreme bliss, and innate bliss. So bliss is the same as joy. To practice the bliss, divided into 2. Bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. So, for the bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above is when the Yidam or Dakini bless you. Then you can perform the practice of the 4 bliss. The second, bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. The secret dual execution is the consort practice to perform the 4 bliss. And to understand it from the lineage root guru. So either of the bliss practices has to be explained by the lineage root guru. The first one is in the area of single practice by man. And the second is the secret practice that can only be taught by the lineage root guru. So, now the instruction on the meaning. The verse said, in quote, all kinds of bindings, etc. So the channels inside our bodies are not completely smooth and open. When you try to open your channels, you have the Dakinis to bless you in order for you to feel the bliss. Or you have the secret consort. When the Qi connects with Qi, When you try to move the qi, you open the channel knots. And by opening all kinds of knots, you will experience all kinds of bliss. It refers to all kinds of palaces. And the etc. is the Sanskrit syllable, is the sum of the 3 palaces. The heart chakra is the channel knot, throat chakra is the channel knot, and the crown chakra is also a channel knot. The crown chakra, heart chakra, and throat chakra are all channel knots. And instead they use the term palace. The verse, the 10 fundamental qi. So actually, there are the 5 kinds of qi plus 5 branchial qi for a total of 10. And the 5 kinds of qi are the upper qi, lower qi, fire accompanying qi, peripheral qi, and the life qi. And the branchial qi, also 5, so for a total of 10. The verse, the 7 parts of absorption, meaning each of the qi has 7 parts as described above, such as name, etc., for a total of 70 of them. We've talked about this, the name, location, the pain, the function, etc. Those that we have talked about last time, for a total of 70 formulas, 70 kinds of explanations. The verse include the sequence of the branchial qi stops internally. It means by upholding the power of the 5 basic qi as the foundation, the moving 5 branchial qi also gradually stop internally. What does it mean? So when you use 5 kinds of qi and the 5 branchial qi, which is at the brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, so they stay at the chakras, and the chakras are actually the knots. And they use palace. And it suggests that the qi circulation gives to the rising of the kundalini fire. To open the channels, and the Amrita accumulates. The understanding of these 3 principles is a step toward generating meditation. So qi, the wind, the qi channels and light drops, and accumulate and opening the channel knots. And this is the step or a method that you can attain samadhi. The verse, bursting forth lots of light drops. The methods to generate light drops is by relying on food and diet to increase the light drops. You rely on your own
眉心轮的菩提心业意
the
来
body
增强
chakra
明点的低
at
落，
the
也
brow
就是靠着火
chakra,
去染这些明点，
and you rely on the inner
为
fire
一切
to
脉触
melt the light drops, to
尽
generate light
其所
drops.
转化尽分成明点。
So at all channels, the ambrosia is transformed into light drops, like churning the milk into
那
butter.
个牛奶，把它搅这个牛奶，
Like when you, this method is like churning the milk into butter.
可以讲是优果，
Suyo.
牛奶搅一搅就会变成优果，优果搅
You
一搅
churn the
就
milk
会变
into
成 cheese。
yogurt, and you churn the yogurt to become cheese.
哦，这个道理是一样的，把它搅动，
So the
搅
same
到把明
concept.
点搅一搅，就会变成这个优果。
So you churn the light drops to become yogurt, and then you churn the yogurt to become
展
cheese.
开转多，若仅展开一个明点，
And the blossoming turns
我
into
不跟你解释
profusion.
了，你们会听不清楚。
And how to burst forth, I
跟
will
你
not
们解释
explain.
也不一定听得清楚。
Even if I explain it, you will not understand.
那个还要必须再增加解释。空行
We
加
have
持，
to
如是
further
展开
explain
二
it.
等一如是了之。其实空行加持
And the
跟
blessing of the
地会
Dakini.
彼此之间加持，都是这
So
个
the
道理。
blessing of the
全部都是
Dakini
这个道理。
or the blessing using the secret
所依等期，你依照这个方法去做，
Dakini.
也就是明点自
And
然
the
安
verse
住于四
clutching
方
relied upon
脉宫殿
refers to you follow this method
降之，
that light drops naturally dwelling at the four precious channel palaces,
以智慧
and as one's cultivation power increases, it descends to all the fine
是
channels.
生禅定
And
之
the above two practices are to continue to bless oneself by use of the Samaya Dakini and Wisdom Dakini,
能
and
够
it is the
安住在
cause to
四个
rise to
宫殿
meditation.
四个
So
宫
you
殿
use the light drops
那当
that you
然就
can
是
abide at the four
眉心轮
palaces, and
the
they
宫殿
are the palace
喉轮
of the
宫殿
brow
心轮的宫殿
chakra, the palace of the throat chakra, of the heart chakra, and of the navel chakra, or the
由
secret
气
chakra.
轮产生的着火，
And you generate the inner fire at the navel chakra.
心轮宫殿，
Then the secret chakra palace, the heart chakra palace, the throat chakra
这
palace,
四个轮
and the brow chakra palace.
这个修，因为你练习的力量增长，
Because your cultivation power increases,
会到其他的维系的
other
脉
than
面
those palaces, it will also reach all the fine channels in the body. In our body, we have 72,000 channels.
一直到
It will reach the fine channels up to
用
the
这
skin
种方
pores.
法
And you use
自
this
身
method
加持自身相信
to bless
能够
yourself
产生禅定，
in continuum, then it can rise to meditation.
产生禅定的方法。
So from bliss, you can rise to meditation. So the merging of light drops and inner fire, the
搅动以后啊，就
the
会有
assimilation of two, and by churning it, it becomes yogurt,
住在宫殿里面，
and you use this method to abide at the palaces
流遍全身
and to open all the chakras and the channels and to reach all
那
over
个
the
时候
body.
会产生禅定的原因。
And at that moment, that's the cause to rise to meditation.
很难解
That's
释
the
的。
explanation of this excerpt. It's very difficult to
我
explain.
讲过以后，你们回去看了还是迷迷糊糊。
So even after my explanation, you go back home and read that excerpt again and you would still be
如果
muddle-headed. If I have not done the practice myself, I would not have been able to explain it. What was written there? A couple went to see a doctor, and the husband is extremely quiet, and yet the wife talked non-stop. Doctor, my husband had lost sleep for 3 nights. What should we do? And the doctor said, okay, here let me prescribe 3 nights of sleeping pills and just take them every night and it'll be fine. But my husband is allergic to sleeping pills, so don't worry, it's you that should take it. What does this mean? This is what that's why I often ask, when I give wedding blessing, I always ask the man, does your girlfriend love to talk? And he answered, no. And I said, congratulations, you would be really happy in the future. And then if I ask the man, does your girlfriend love to talk? And he answered, oh, she talks all the time. Oh no. Then you can't even sleep at peace, in peace. So if you can marry a girl that doesn't talk, then you should put on fireworks. Lots of women nags and talks. So much. I went to the noodle shop, to the fast food shop and ordered a cup of soup. And the boss asked, do you want the $30 one or the 50 NT dollar one? And I said, $50 one. And the soup was served, and I just asked, so what's the difference between the $30 one and the $50 one? And the boss answered, no difference. It's just that some people want to pay 50 and some people just wants to give 30. So the boss understands psychology. I have told the joke before. A coffee stall, like a outdoor cafe, and a waitress asked, do you want to drink coffee? And that person said, no, I don't drink coffee. And it was slow business. So they fired the waitress because she always go and ask, do you want some coffee? And some people say yes, some people say no. And then the other waitress, now it's a new waitress, and she asked different, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee? And some people answered cold coffee, some people hot coffee. So actually it's free to sit there, but because the question was, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee? Then business was good. So you need to know how to speak. Would you like some coffee? And the option is no. So then you don't earn the business. But if you ask, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee? Then you would earn some money. Someone called Atta loved to go to the night market for the food, but there are lots of pickpockets in Taiwan too. And after finishing eating, the wallet was stolen. And because he couldn't pay, he was brought to the police station. And then one night, he didn't want to try, so the wallet is empty, and placed the money in the a thief pickpocket-proof belt. And after he finished eating, he felt that the belt was loose, and the belt was being cut, and the money is gone, but the wallet is there. And I felt really embarrassed. And the boss said, "Oh, someone paid for you, and here's a note for you." And on the note it said, "Please never doubt our expertise." So it doesn't matter where you hide your money, it will still be stolen. So you have to be very careful when you go to the night markets. And especially at the tourist places, especially in Europe, the pickpockets are extremely many there. And because of the coronavirus, the pickpockets gathered and demonstrated a protest that they wanted the tourism to be open again. Last night at 10 p.m. I drove up to the Yangming mountain, and I woke up in my dream, and I discovered everybody's gone, even the driver, and the bus still driving slowly around the mountain roads. I was trembling and shouted, "Ghosts!" And people outside the bus said, "Ghosts?" There was the voice saying that we are pushing the bus up the mountain and you are sleeping, only you are sleeping inside. So there's a reason to everything. The lover spoke with the old lover, the ex-lover. We have separated for so long. So, how is your life? In the past, when we cross the street, you always hold my hand. But whom are you holding now? But it's okay. Actually it doesn't matter. I just got my driver license, so when you cross the street in the future, be careful. So it's a threat. The teacher asked us to write an article about romance, and the language should be precise, and it has to have beginning and end, and the number of words is not specified. And Xiaoming just wrote, "Teacher, can you marry me?" And the teacher kicked him out of class.
这个跟疫情有关的。
This is related to the
有一个
pandemic.
男子下班回到家，
A
洗完
man
手就
got
坐下
off
用餐
work and got home, and after washing his
我
hands,
所煮的菜
he
肴
started to eat,
淡而无味，
and after a few
辣。
mouthfuls,
太太呢，
he complained that this is completely
电
tasteless,
话告诉市府单位，说他先生没有味觉。
and the wife called the health department and said that
这
the
个
husband has lost
检疫
his
所呢
taste
就派车把
sense,
这个男子载走并隔离14天。
and then he was taken away and to be isolated for 14 days. So the warning is never complain about your wife's cooking, otherwise you will be isolated for 14 weeks. 2 weeks. That's all for today. Thank you
非常
very
感谢
much.
法王圣尊言生